Alliances turn to ban. Dire team ban. Alliances turn to ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
All right, you about ready?
Alliances turn to
Bumper
ban.
through. All right, let's go line 5, 4, 3. All right, folks. Hello and welcome back to the qualifier, the grand finals here between Alliance and Enigma.
5
Game
seconds
number 4.
remaining.
Oh no, I've done it again. Oh, I put the wrong display capture on. Nothing to see there, guys. Welcome back. We're here. Matt has no clue what's going on. He's.
You didn't leak the
staying
script
awake.
again, did you?
Hey, what script? What's the script?
The
Oh, do you
next
mean like
true
the
site.
observing script sort of thing, so you can like change your settings? You must mean that.
Yeah, sure. Just know the FBI's been called and they're on their way.
Good thing I don't live in America.
MI6 has been called and they're on their way.
Good thing I'm not in the EU. No, that doesn't fit. Anyway, Alliance versus Enigma. They're both in the EU. They're both here. They're sweating it up. It is coming down to the line a little here, as you know, most of these best of fives we've seen recently, Matt, they're usually done and dusted by the 4th game, right? Are we going to see that again, or are we actually going to have a real best of 5, a 5-game series? That's what we all dream of. That's what we all want, right? Apart from those of us who are tired and want to go to sleep, but just
Who could that
Red
be?
Bulls. Just crack a few Red Bulls and stay up, okay? It's all good.
Or a few. I'm not going to risk hurting any sponsors. Anyway, it depends if Alliance go with that second pick Timbersaw again. I don't think you can reveal that much that early into the draft. Doesn't look like any of the main heroes from the last game been banned out, but Enigma choosing to go for another strategy entirely, picking up the Slardar first.
I actually like this.
Sapphire
I think
still in the pool.
Slardar is like one of the more dominant offlaners right now that you can get your hands on, and it really fits the kind of timings that top tier teams are looking for, right? When you roll out the laner phase, it feels like the type of offlane that if you actually give them a laning
10
partner and you
seconds
give them a start to the game, it will deliver for the next 20 minutes. Easily.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Scales pretty well into the late game as well.
Alliance.
Minus armor on the Slardar, useful for so many things. And here we go, the Snapfire's picked up Void Spirit as well, still in the pool if Alliance did want to go the full Chi strategy. Puck still there. God, I hate Puck. Most busted hero in the game right now.
Yes, no. If I used to agree, but honestly, Void Spirit is more busted because it immediately just completely and utterly counters
10
Puck.
seconds.
That Remnant completely screws over your ability to move away. So I think there's only one way you can get away from the Void Spirit Remnant when you phase shift, and that's based on server tick rate. So yeah, you're gambling on lag. Basically, whenever you die as Puck against Void Spirit, you can now blame lag. Is what I'm telling you guys there. I know there's a few Kikus in the chat that will love me for that. They get the Chen.
Depending on the Carlet, and yeah, picking up the Chen, why not? You've got this early game oriented lineup so far with the Slardar and the Chen. Even just with the Corrosive Haze and a bunch of Chen creeps, you can easily burst people down.
Most definitely, and I think the other thing to like highlight back on that Snapfire as well is it's just, especially it's a good thing to not allow the Slardar Snapfire combo. I think it's one of the more vicious ones available, but Alliance, they kind of forced themselves into this scenario with the Nyx where they had to pick it up to avoid
10
the
seconds remaining.
counter pick. Snapfire is just completely and utterly invalidated by the existence of
5
Nyx,
seconds
and we
remaining.
already saw how good that was on GH in the previous game as well.
Dire team ban.
Yeah, both a useful pick for themselves as well as making sure that it's a bit of a block pick, if you will. Alliance play it reasonably well as well. It fits in with a lot of their type of play style, and we can see now the Void Spirit. It's being banned out, so potentially it is a puck that we might be looking to see come out for Alliance. We know we've seen it in a variety of lanes for them.
10 seconds.
Most likely 2 or 3, but could still be versatile. It's very good at dealing with the Chen creeps too.
Yeah, most importantly though, the Void Spirit has been removed from the potential pool.
Yeah.
The Troll, of course, being banned out just because, well, it's one of the heroes that you can see Nico maybe want to play, especially when you draft this Slardar already. I think it's actually one of the best counters on the lane for the Slardar pick right now, is that mischance just avoids any chance of you getting pushed out. Instead, it's usually Slardar who's on the back foot, and you can't even invest in that lane at that stage. In fact, in this qualifier, aggressive mode, ended up switching a Slardar to a 4-roll because of that hero popping up in the draft on their opponent's side.
I'm just having a quick look at time at previous matches in this series. Again, game 1 was just under 32 minutes, game 2 was 24 minutes, and game 3 was 39 minutes. So in what was a very dominant display in game 3, that was actually the longest game of the entire series thus far. So we're looking at pretty quick games, and Alliance, they would have to be mindful of, are they going to be able to draft around that? They can't go this letter-oriented lineup with Rickies and that sort of thing that I feel like they wanted it to scale later on. Of course, it's still effective early on if you get your key timings, but just the way they structured the laning matchups with allowing Mind Control to solo against a physical damage right-clicker, it's kind of redundant, but, you know, someone that relies on melee last hits for a lot of the damage, as a Pugner, you're going to have a hard time, and he just drained a lot of his net worth that he was getting straight into regen.
And Alliance, they go with the tried and trusted Timbersaw. Not always true that it works out going by last game, but this game around, you don't have to worry about the Nyx, at least. I will highlight that. I think that was the biggest reason that Timber had a full downfall, is Nyx just counts everything you want to do.
Yeah. And, again, it's another one of those things that can slow down a lot of this Nigma aggression by getting rid of these Chen creeps. It seems like that's the style that they like to play anyway, you know, just run at your face, and Timbersaw drags a lot of attention away from it. Kind of fulfills a similar role to the Spirit Breaker, but it just tries to get your attention away. I think Nigma's composed enough, though, that they're not going to get easily distracted.
No, they just need to fix on the draft. There isn't any big leaking issue right now. You haven't gone for a double strength opener for your Enigma, right? Like if you had the Slardar and the Snapfire, and then the Timber came up in the situation, then you're sitting there going, crap, this is going to be a problem. But right now, you can just actually play around it, complete your own draft, and focus on what Alliance have coming up next. I think this next pick is going to be more important than the Timber, actually.
5 seconds remaining.
And with this first 3 picks of Nigma, really wouldn't surprise me to see them run that exact same style of tri-lane again, right? So you would feel that Alliance want to pick something that's able to just easily win a 1v1 lane, but the thing is, they've most likely picked their 3, 4, and 5 thus far, unless they throw the Timbersaw into mid. So you can't pick something like a leading commander just yet that's easily going to win the lane. It's probably one of the biggest guarantees that you can have in that off-lane role. They're going all the way down to that 1 second, and they go with a Sven to end it off. So, bit of an interesting decision.
Yeah, we don't see it very often. I've seen a few teams attempt it, usually in conjunction with an Io pick, which, of course, Alliance won't have access to this time as they banned out themselves in their first phase. It's a hero that inherently has a farming mechanism, which is always great. The Axe is considered pretty amazing if you can get your hands on it in time. It just feels like you can't rush it, right? Like on Sven, you need probably your Mask of Madness you're looking at, then you're looking at the crits at least. We might see 1, possibly 2 Chrysalises in this game. As we've seen recently, there are a shift towards this cost efficiency of items, right? So I think the other big one right now is Gloves of Haste, and how picking up casual Gloves of Haste is high value due to the attack speed versus cost aspect.
Yeah.
Of course, this is a hero that can do that as well, actually. Like, Sven is probably one of the high heroes on that list that would benefit from just having a casual glove in his inventory, maybe 2. Or if you're Envy, you go the whole mile and you have 3 casual gloves of haste in your inventory.
Just casual, you know.
I recall that game. He literally queued up. He was looking at every item that he could buy. He like queued drums at one point. He's like, oh no. He's like, anything else that has gloves in it right now?
Alliances turn
It is a good item though.
Templar Assassin.
Because I feel like you're still suffering from the same issues with mobility, so you kind of need someone that's going to be that playmaker in the mid lane, so it wouldn't surprise me for them to go something that's a lot more mobile, like I don't know, a Storm Spirit or an Ember Spirit, and something like a Pangolier that's just able to get in the middle of a team fight and create some chaos. Death Prophet even?
That would
Decent
give
against the
them
TA.
Push. There is still a puck available for Alliance right now if Enigma doesn't ban it out here. And I
don't know about puck against TA though.
Well, this is the thing. The puck versus TA matchup, it seems to have pivoted a little bit, judging by the qualifiers. The matchups have been more even. Both just
10
seem to farm
seconds remaining.
more or less unimpeded now. The only difference, of course, is that puck can get active, whereas TA
5
still wants to
seconds
farm.
remaining.
I was
And I feel like
surprised.
TA is a lot more dependent on her team as well, you know. Are you going to get those neutral camps stacked up? Are you going to get these rotations through that allow her to snowball and be that early game menace, you know, get all that minus armor before you can build up both in levels as well as farm?
And this is what I also love to see, by the way, whenever you see Slardar, is that they've picked up this TA. They've given themselves a double minus armor. I think if you're taking Slardar, the right way you have to do it is you have to have a second element to your team that just stacks up that minus armor. Whether you're talking about Solar Crest builder or you're talking about the Deso builders, you need one or the other.
So you can't itemize against it on the other team. You know, it's basically just a foregone conclusion.
Team pick.
Yeah, and when you actually look at the other team, like what are they doing right now? They've got Snapfire that's going to be bulky, doesn't really have much armor. Sven doesn't tend to build into too much armor. Timber, sure, you have the reactive armor element, but that's going to be completely negated. And then you're talking about a hero that doesn't have the best strength gain for a hero with that as his primary stat. I think Timber's somewhere in the 2 range. It might even be like
10
2.6,
seconds
3.9.
Let me check.
3.2 actually, sorry, a little bit higher, but still it's for what this hero does and how far forward you have to be. Like we saw it last game, the moment you remove the reactive armor element
Turn to pick.
somewhere forward, you just don't exist as a hero.
Especially as it gets... Okay, so they're going with the Ember Spirit here on Enigma's side, so really narrowing the pool. I feel like they were afraid of an Ember Spirit getting picked up against them, you know, banning out the Viper with the previous... with their last ban, rather.
10 seconds.
Could still be a Death Prophet, in my mind. It's something that Alliance, at least in previous iterations, have played. I don't think we've seen too many games with it thus far, but it gives a bit of wave clear. It does pretty well against a TA. Batro is alright too. It's the hero that's going to get in the middle of a team fight. And you've got Timbersaw also creating some havoc.
Yeah.
If they do choose to do like a 5v5 style.
So they've chosen to counter the lane, basically. This will work well against the TA, right? And then you can rotate and easily pick off Miracle before he necessarily gets 6. It does mean that you are pretty heavily in. And this is the way that Alliance usually do thrive, where they've got this 4 protect 1 style around Nico. It's like, what do we do to enable him? Do we make enough pressure on the map? Do we give him space? If that happens, then great. Whereas Nigma, very similarly, can we get enough space for Miracle? And the issue with the Ember on the outer lanes is you have to give it a wide berth, right? You have to stay out of XP range if you're Kuro and try and pressure your opponents out, but he's going to be up against that Timbersaw.
I feel like Miracle's going to have
Seconds remaining.
a pretty decent game. It's probably going to be another tri-lane. You know, it's just as strong as the previous one was. Yeah, you don't have the Oracle to lock in place, but maybe Nigma's going to give Alliance a bit of a taste of their own medicine.
Quite possibly. I mean, like, Nigma in this situation, I think they could try and run a try scenario if Nico Baby just gets left alone against Slardar. I think you want to try and bully Slardar out for the first 2 levels at least, and then rotate to deal with Miracle, right? Because like if Slardar doesn't get a quick free. If he falls behind in terms of XP, the hero does tend to wane off a little, and a hero like Sven can just farm without being harassed off the lane.
Yeah, you can more effectively trade against him. I'm interested to see how Nico's going to go about his skill build, whether it's, you know, is his team going to be stacking up creeps for him to enable him to farm with his greater cleave, or is he going to be like, well, I've got mind control and the TA, I need to build up into my Warcry so that I'm able to even survive a portion of these team fights.
We'll have to see, as Nigma are now chasing match point. And Alliance trying to hang in there and bring it back to a draw at 2-2. Who will come out ahead? Will it be this rapid out of the lane style of Alliance, or will it be the split, farm a little bit, one, two items, and then straight into your face with the side of Nigma? There is definitely an argument, if you don't pressure Nigma hard enough, they get the Deso timing, they'll get maybe just one item with Slardar, and they can just begin to run at you.
What's your prediction?
So there may have been some documents that chat saw, and I said Alliance, so it's a lot. I have to. I mean, no, there's no documents. I'm gonna say Alliance, though. I'm gonna say Alliance.
Look at all these rats around Nigma's end. GH.
Whoa! I guess they're expiring soon. Go crazy.
I mean, they're embracing it.
No, you know
it's Alliance, right?
Yeah, look at it. They're kicking Alliance. That's what they do. They're kicking them while they're down. As soon as the rats get down, they kick them. No matter what you do to Alliance, you can't fully take the rat out of them. Although this draft definitely lacks rat in high amounts right now.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, the bigger concern is if Alliance don't keep killing Nigma, they don't do anything. Like, you can farm, sure, but you've got a Timber and a Bat core. You need to be making plays early on.
Begins.
Yeah. I'm going to be watching Miracle very closely in these team fights as well, because you've got this Nyx Assassin standing around. Going to be more than happy to walk in, pop his Spike Carapace while he's got the Flame Guard up, and that allows the combinations to come through from Alliance. And they don't have the save last time, like with the OD on Nigma's side, so a lot more pressure is going to be put onto everyone, really, to save anyone that gets caught out. It's not going to be a one-man effort.
It's definitely the case. But you can never feel that when you look at this side of Nigma and you think about the Chen in this format, it is going to be very much on him to get a decent start. It's unlikely we see the same extent we did last game. Money he had. Nice fist dodge from Miracle there. Gets hit by that, it's likely a death, as that should buy enough time for another Scatter Blast. And the pressure on the bot lane in the meantime, 33, even with the reactive armor, is feeling the pain.
Level 1, not all that effective. Even with that Fade Bolt used onto him, can't even get the last hit onto these creeps when they're underneath the tower.
That's the rough part about this lane. He didn't start with the Quillen Blade, so CS is wholly reliant at the moment on using the Wall and Deaths. Mid lane, meanwhile, you did see Bat Rider actually forced this TA very far back, and Wee's already starting to hit creeps, because look at the CS. Limp has 6 denies. 6 denies already.
And very well, it could be one of those games where he just takes control in the early stage. TA probably would have been okay to rotate back into the jungle at level 3, to obviously a lot earlier than he'd be wanting to.
No, most definitely. It's a lot precarious. We've seen these kind of early switches in the jungle, but this means that you're just submitting the mid lane is empty right now, and you can't afford to bring supports from the outer lanes. You have to apply pressure there.
Hanskin's in trouble.
Will go down. First blood gets drawn. Miracle's the one who gets.
And that was the result of another great slider fist dodge coming from Miracle. He dodged through the Sven stun. I don't think you can start off with that anymore. It was Hanskin just being a little bit too far up. Maybe if he started the fight with the Impale, doesn't give Miracle quite enough time to react comparatively, and then you can follow up with the Sven.
Yeah, I think the thing for them now is to try and let Miracle, you know, give himself some rope to hang himself with, right? Where he will go for the Flame Guard to farm, and then you have the Spike Carapace plays you can make at level 2 because Hanskin's there. He'll always get good pressure on the Miracle in the meantime, though, so they'll force out a little bit of regen. Problem is, you've got Kuro on this lane, he's got the headdress, he has the Divine Favor. It's not a visual scenario.
Radiant's middle
The dents you make are going to be very quickly repaired.
You've even got GH with the Ring of Basilius, so He's regenerating up a lot of the mana coming through from Kuro and Miracle. So working well together with the itemization as well as the team play here on Nigma's side.
Yeah, there's no doubt Alliance have a little bit more bulk, but it's just the regenerative capabilities are mainly just in the hands of Nyx, right? One of the higher base regen heroes, that's it. It's actually evened out.
And
like,
here come those magic sticks as well. Purchasing them up on Crew and GH, it means that they're going to be ready for a fight. They're here to stay.
For the long haul, and Mind Control seems fine with that. He is getting decent CS, 17, actually 18 free, 33, a little bit ahead on XP because he did start here solo.
Miracle's happy with this. You know, you've got 3 Alliance heroes just sitting back, watching, and farm a whole creep wave.
Absolutely.
Dire's middle tower.
The one lane going Alliance's way is going incredibly decisively though, as we is just sitting far back in the jungle. Since that early level 2, and you're gonna already see the level disparity, level 3 to level 5.
I haven't checked the chat yet, but I'm sure it's filled with like, we hard TA lol, and all these sorts of things.
See, I didn't want to.
He's such a good TA, right?
Yeah, but I didn't want to suggest it because I had this feeling like it seems like the obvious choice. Like, yeah, you just go to the Wii hard TA, whoop-de-doo, you've got a Slardar. But it is a logical choice. It's just in this type of game, having Ember and TA, like one of them was bound to suffer. I think when you looked at the heroes that Alliance had, like one of these lanes was going to be thrown to the wolves.
Yeah. How aggressive Limp's getting as well, and with good reason. He's sitting at about 1.5 levels ahead of Weeha. Pressuring him back, might even force him all the way back to base. No, just gonna go to this top side. I think it's gonna be really important that Nigma prioritize these next bounties coming up in 15 seconds.
Well, this is why Limp's placed that ward. So now if he happens to go across, you'll see it coming. Even if he gets the rune, you can move quick enough to actually intercept because you have the boots and wind lace advantage over this TA. It's not like you can do anything else because you're waiting for this creep wave to arrive at the catapult, but that's where Limp should just shove down the wave and then apply pressure because they haven't sat anyone in this lane. He's just been left to his own devices completely.
It's actually Alliance taking it, 3 bounty runes to 1.
Doesn't even need the last 2 for the moment, but he will commit it just to make sure. Drags him back, and these are these deep wards that came out, right, on both sides. Now, he has no way he can recover safely. This is the benefits of running that Batrider in the mid, is he's going to be quick to aggression, and he can just get in and out of that jungle at all times.
His 2 Observer wards just expired as well, looking to prevent any sort of ganks that came through from the bot side of the map. If he's going to purchase up one for himself as he TPs back to the lane, or if he's just going to come in blind. With this great
like
ward as well.
And this is the thing.
Exactly where he is.
As well. Yeah. Wait for the last 2 and then it'll just go again. And sure, it might make the ward obvious, but it can't be emphasized enough how critical the timings of we in this game are. Like, he's the key to the mid game. Usually you look at that blink, has been the popularized thing recently over the Deso first, and then you just switch that into an advantage. You go for an early Roche, you grab Slardar. Just a casual pick off of Fada in the top lane, as Alliance have still been committing 3 heroes here.
Yeah, I mean, people talk about the strengths of Chen being the heal increase from the Divine Favor. You can get neutral creeps, very, very strong early on. Of course, a natural hand of God, so you're sustainable in team fights. The strongest part of it is the Divine Favor, but it's the recall. That is easily the strongest part of the Chen. Just gives you an extra maneuverability skill early on into this, and Miracle doesn't get that kill if he doesn't have the Chen.
It's especially a Rural Lane because it just covers the weaknesses that Ember has. For
Mind control?
Right. Control back and forth, and Mind Control being the one controlled. Blood to catch that one up because you wouldn't expect him to go down that easily, but it seems that he's been given too much room, shall we say. He's been getting deeper and deeper and closer to those tier 2 towers, and Fada able to finally punish it. And
the haste.
Oh, he moves in. Back block everywhere, drags out the TA and kills her off. Hanskin's even here for the free XP. Smile on his face saying, I'm helping. Even took the wild ring. Oof. That's just rubbing salt in the wound right there. Sven doing pretty decent, at least on the last hits, but sitting in 3rd place right now on net worth, behind the Batrider, who's had a fantastic game. Yeah, and it's not going to let up anytime soon when you get this kind of lead. You're going to see it's going to boost the travel so you can actually be as active on the map as something like the Ember or the Chen that you just mentioned, right? This is how you alleviate the threat that Chen shows, is if you have these cores that can very easily just slide into that item choice. Everywhere they go on the map, you are waiting.
Does need to be mindful, of course. It's great to get that early boots of travel. He's only about 100 or so gold away, and he's going to look to create a lot of pressure in these other lanes, make even stronger for them early on. But if you give Weeha enough time to come back, a lot of that early work that you've done will be for naught. He can easily come back, make a big impact in these team fights in the mid game.
How much time are we looking at here? Because that's the question, really, isn't it? How long are you going to sit back? Sven farming reasonably well. Maybe you see Sigma just try and actually leverage an advantage off Miracle. Now that he has level 7, he has a lot of damage. He didn't go for the max flame guard, though. He did go the root of Slayer Fist, and he doesn't have a point in the root yet.
Are fortified.
Definitely hurt them a little bit there.
You can just see here it is being a little bit more efficient now with Weeha. He's not getting the constant pressure coming up from the Batrider, who's rotating through the jungle. He's got the regen rune popped. He's trying to find Mind Control here, who's fighting in a bit of a precarious position.
There's an understatement here, as he'll try for TP away. He just wants to force Lasso so that it can't be used on anyone else. So selfless of Mind Control. As he not only saves his teammates from potential future lassos, he also gives gold over to the enemy team. Manachari.
Also realizing the outpost is able to be taken. Moment sitting at a 1-1, will the team look to prioritize it to get that full portion of the experience for themselves?
It would be a bit greedy at this point, I think. You've had ups and downs from both sides, and if you push that advantage too hard, I don't think the value is there as it was apparent last game, right? Like last game where there was a lot of XP hungry type heroes that relied on that. Hounds is the type of thing that you could easily just overextend on and be punished for. And you see it. Both sides just playing a little bit more defensively. Apart from the murder of Chorus.
Dire's courier has been killed.
He gets in. Barbarian's probably going to be an even split, seems like it. They're going a bit more of a farm-intensive build, realizing that they've got the best of the early game here on Alliance, and now you've got this Mask of Madness build on Nico. Wouldn't be shocked if he looked to transition into doing Ancients, perhaps. Or, no, just happy to take the large camps.
It would be nice to maybe see a few stacks being made, but it's the activity on the map right now. It's a bit back and forth, right? Like you've got this situation where someone's freeing up a lane, so another one of the Alliance support members can actually just go farm. So then it's just Fada waddling back and forth looking for a place. And XP is more important than gold for this hero. Once you hit 6, that's where you can make some plays off the back of the kisses.
And I was talking early on about what build is Nico Baby going to go with this Sven. Even though he was in the tri lane and potentially at risk of losing his life a few times because of the tri lane coming out from Nigma, didn't opt to go into a Warcry build to enable the rest of his fellow laners. He's gone into this full farm build, which means that now it's pretty efficient. They came out of the laning stage in a good spot, and now we can actually transition to extending that network.
It's all about that acceleration, right? Like you have other heroes that are meant to make plays. When you pick the Batrider as a core, that should be the hero that your supports are able to play off of in this point in the game. You should be able to have a traditional one that just wants to hit creeps, and that's exactly what they have, while they also have 33 on the other side of the map, just applying pressure at all times to this tower and being ignored for all intents and purposes so far.
Yeah, but look what happens. You leave that Templar Assassin alone for a few minutes, and he's level, or she's level rather, on experience with a Batrider and getting very close to catching up on the net worth as well.
Not expecting to make plays anytime soon, though. Not going for the Blink Rush, has gone for the Death Zone instead. There's been a little bit of a switch over recently. More the TAs have been going towards the Blink first. It does accelerate your farm, of course, moving camp to camp. Far in the top lane will be brought down, and it looks like Hanscom will die as well. That's like this being maxed out. But they will find the kill on the Mind Control in response. It was in Nico Baby's farming pattern.
I feel like Mind Control on this Slardar is playing a very similar style of role to GH's Nyx Assassin from the last game, in the way that Ice tends to play on his run at you heroes on Fnatic, and Slardar is actually one of the key ones that he chooses to play for them. It just creates a whole lot of space. He realizes that right now he's not the most important hero to get farm and experience. It's all about enabling Weeha to come back into this game, and he's done a great job at it.
Oh, this double invis. We'll make it out though.
Radiant's
You're right. It's
bottom
that.
tower is
It's kind of
under
like you're
attack.
just role playing the Joker, right? Just telling Batman to hit you a little bit more, and that's what we've always seen traditionally from off lanes. That's the role that's meant to take a beating. I remember last year the rule of thumb was if you end the laning phase with less than 6 deaths, you done okay. And then we move through to the heroes that can't actually truly lose their lane because they just fall back and become supports, like the Legion and the Abaddon. And now we're coming around with these heroes that, with a little bit of farm, because they're bulked up as their strength heroes, they can still have relevance as the game scales on. And Slardar is definitely one of those key among them, in fact.
Structures are fortified.
Yeah, here we go. This is what I've been waiting for a while. A smoke gang coming out from Alliance. They're going towards this bot side. We're going to try and get a key pick off at the start of this encounter. Until now, the Boots of Travel hasn't really done all too much work for Lim. Get GH, I don't know if that's the best option.
Oh, they are going to try and move towards the back line. The wraparound's going to be there, but GH is buying some time from the Warcry to run away further. They are chasing on. The pings come out, but Miracle's being left alone. Instead, they are hunting for different targets. They're just not sure what they can still find. The Kisses are going to come out. They'll be able to even up and get a kill on the Hanskin, and the Kiss is still doing a lot of damage. Now, on the mind control. As I bring it down, it'll be 2-for-1 trade. Yep, you get that cheeky pick on the Nyx. You do at least force out the Kisses. That's a big cooldown, and your TA and Ember do get out in one piece.
Yeah, but Weeha, he was just happily farming the entire time. Sure, also was happening on Nico Baby, but that's not the big deal. He's not going to come online quite as fast as this TA does. Desolator now finished up. Just a couple of clarities coming out to him. He's going the BKB next. A lot of this early damage is going to be magic based, and then probably going to the Blink Dagger once that's all finished up.
Well, it seems that Nico Baby is going for a more early game focused build. He's not going for any more damage. He's not trying to increase his farm speed. He's going straight to that BKB. So it seems that the focus is sitting here going, okay, we know we have this leverage advantage on the Bat Rider and his ability to pop the refraction quickly from Wii. We then have an in as a result, and that control can enable us to get kills. Just like the last two is going to enable him to get killed with GH, who stuck a little bit too deep and gone. Hand of God was used for nothing. That's a big cooldown. 160 seconds now without your clutch save.
Yeah, bit of a concern. Still has the mech, so some teamfight capability here. See here, it's all about the sustain at this point in time. Popping the ice armor onto the TA is Kuro with his creep that he just picked up.
Is under attack.
Of course, the
15
problem
minutes
is
as
going to
well.
have is shifting around the map quickly, right? Your team's still going to be split because they're not ready to fight, so they need to maximize farming efficiency. And when you look at Alliance's side, it's Bat riding out with the boost of travel, the Nyx prowling around with the Vendetta. There's a lot of opportunities where Enigma just gets caught out solo. And the only hero that's maybe somewhat safe to do that now is Mind Control, who has begun to bulk up now to 1600
Radiant are
HP.
scanning.
Ready, realizing that, well, Diane's been off the map for a little bit, and we've got the Desolator, we've got the Slardar. It's a very serious risk of Roshan being picked off in 15 seconds.
Quite possibly. It's always at risk, though. You need to get some sentries down first because you don't know if Hanskin's just going to walk over that area. You can see how he's actually fixating around this top area, so he's always able to wrap towards the primary jungle or get to Roshan time. And you will see GH still the Welling Death. It is a brave choice of spell. I'm not sure if it's the one he wanted, but if he could get deep enough and live for a few uses, it would definitely have a lot of value against the Timber and the Sven. This should just be him trying to increase his farm rate. Usually when you're playing Ruby this stage, it's like, what spell can I steal that will allow me to clear creep waves and just rush towards my next item?
Yeah. Still yet to have a true, you know, big 5v5 team fight or even 4v4, so interested to see what Alliance Enigma have as their target priorities
Dire's top
these
tower
upcoming
is under
encounters.
attack.
I have to think it's picking off the Chen would be the big priority for them, you know. Hand of God, mech, so big.
Sounds good. Trying to pick him off. Moving in. Trap will slow him down. Reinforcements are coming in, but they won't hard commit for the life of the Nyx, which has already been taken. They do find the Slardar on the bot lane. Now they just need to get the Timber out. And the Kisses also them away. Miracle think twice about going deeper. In fact, he wants to move away. Throws out a Remnant. Cookie in the wrong direction. 33. I think that's a little bit of a pathfinding issue right there. But Nico Baby, he pings it out. He says, force him back right now. And he's waiting with the Stormhammer going out, but they won't dive the tower. They know there are traps down.
just a little bit of a disconnect there on Alliance. Nico Baby, without going these movement speed items, without these maneuverability items as well, with the Blink Dagger, relies so heavily on the rest of his team to get stuff done, either through the Snapfire Cookie or through the Batrider just dragging people straight back to him.
That should change soon, though. He's about to hit 15. He does have the option of movement speed, although the hammer dispelling enemies in this type of game is pretty valuable.
Pretty juicy to have, especially against that Flame Guard.
Yep. Oh, the amount of damage. Timber's just gone instantly now. Chase forward on the Fada. With that corrosive haze up. The right clicks and Miracle do more than just tickle, and the speed at which they take this tower should enable them to just fall back straight into the Roche Pit, because Alliance have just lost 2.
Yeah, you could just hear there on Nigma's side, they're like, I have finished farming, and they just continue, just go in, bang, dead. Let's get this timer on this. 5, 3, 2, 1.5, 1, 1.0.
It's not quite out.
I saw your maths in chat before.
Hey, you know, they don't know whether it's true or not. Enigma needs whatever many points. I just pressed 4 numbers on my keyboard. Enigma proving that actually with their lineup, the way it functions right now, if they press every button on their keyboard, if they hit every spell, it's over for Alliance right now. They're in a situation where Spain is at that awkward factor. You can see that he's going towards the Chrysalis next, and then yes, he actually hits hard enough to deal with this, and he did go for the Dispel. This is reaching the stage where they can fight back, because now you can Dispel the Refraction, you can get rid of the Flame Guard. There's a lot of ways you can actually approach this team fight as a Sven.
Yeah, really effective to have. That Chrysalis is so hot right now. It just feels like everyone's talking about it, especially for the gold investment that you're putting into it. Just have a quick review of the, well, we've got a bit of a quiet period in the game. What the areas being prioritized are. You can see here there's a lot of defensive wards coming up on Alliance's side, making sure that Nico Baby is actually able to come online with a lot of this stuff. He's got the Chrysalis, he's going next into the Assault Cuirass, but it's a lot more aggressive on Nigma's end. You can see those deep wards in that Tricamp area, so they're going hunting.
Exactly. They smoked up. The vision is good around the pit, right? They know what the priority is. The way that their draft functions, it's all about Roche when you have this much minus armor. So they're always going to prioritize that area. And it wouldn't be surprising they can look for a pick and then just convert a tier 1, tier 2 tower push.
Yeah, good presence of mind by Alliance to realize that they've been off the map for a while.
Exactly.
TP back, but they've still got that vision on Nigma's side.
And they're picking the DD on B.
I don't know about that.
Move away from that ping, if anything. He's already proven to 33 how easy it is to bring him down and why he has the W next to his name compared to 33. It does stand for win in this situation, as Timbersaw, even with SS Ring, even with almost 2k HP, has been proven to be very easy paper to shred for the side of Enigma.
Yeah, he's got that BKB built up as well now onto Weehaw, so even more of a threat. They realize, you know what, we actually don't need to go for kills. We can happily push down this bot side. We can take the outpost. They're not going to have anywhere to TP to once we take this one down. Pretty happy, but it's the Alliance here. They've got a smoke coming through from the mid lane. I don't think they were sitting under any sort of wards either, so could catch Enigma unawares, especially if Miracle gets caught out.
Dragon by Carapace follow up. Everything but the kitchen sink for the kill onto the boss 1 player of Enigma. And there's a hunt.
He's getting gone on.
He already used a hand of God as well, so 33 is just going to toy with him. Come down a lot, and he can.
Might be a bait.
Spells a sec, but there it is. They're going to bait him in a little bit. He does have the essence ring now. The sun's coming out and connects to the roof. Nico Baby moves in. The damage way too much. Mind Control tried to run away. The kisses from afar just to zone them out. And look who else went in. He thought he could actually pierce that backline. He thought he could even up the fight, and now he's completely and utterly outnumbered. The BKB gets activated. He'll go for the TP away. He will be able to make it, but that is not the way he envisioned using his fresh BKB.
Absolutely not. And Kuro, he walked into that Stormhammer. It's a pretty slow travel time. Very surprising from such a veteran, and actually didn't pop the Hand of God throughout that entire fight. He picked up the medallion at the very start as well. Didn't use it on the target they were going on. These long series, they can get to even the best of players.
He's confident now. He's like, okay, what you done to me before isn't going to happen. Not while Slardar is dead. It's not a possibility anymore. I can go back to what I feel good at, which is being a tanky mofo. And all of a sudden, look at Nico Baby's net worth as well. It's spiked after that fight, up to 13,000 net worth. He's building the lead. And this is important. You look at Alliance's draft, it is all about this Sven. The other two are meant to peak off. It comes to a point in the game where he has to do everything for his team.
Found him again.
Just controls. And Ember found again, nowhere near tanky enough.
And he's even gone a pretty defensive build, you know. The drums obviously gives a bit of stats. Maybe the faded brooch isn't the best option for him, but do they even have anything better for him to pick up? Well, that's pretty nice.
Middle tower has fallen.
I think he just needs more movement speed, because the whole idea is if they jump on you and you get a small window, you want time with a slight fist to remnant away, right? And that movement speed does help there. It's also why he's going for the axe.
Yes. I think the other option, the other argument towards that is if you've got the Imp Claw, you can clear waves longer. You're not going to be in an unsafe position for quite as long, and their pick-off potential is hindered because of it.
True. I think like the counter point would maybe be around the fact like he doesn't have Maelstrom, right? So
They're going to find mind control up here, I think.
There they ping it.
He's slithering away.
They know he's somewhere around here, but there's a lot of trees to check. Like looking for a squirrel in the forest right now, and he'll just cut his way out. Hanskin will just go invis and just move forward. They've already got Timber getting the wave, so they're ready to shove in for this tower. And there's a rotation coming out from Nigma. Hanskin's gonna walk straight in, throw the target, the perfect kill. Won't even get a chance to really use the combo. You can throw a hand and go, but it won't achieve anything. It'll just go down. The kisses are coming in the meantime. 33 stands his ground and forces the BKB out of Wii. And there's the last thing. The jumping comes out. The skill's gonna be used to sure it's good. But when are you gonna use it now that you don't have a TA for 60 seconds? I'll tell you what Alliance are gonna use. They're gonna use their very focused fingers to right click on your buildings and probably come up to the high ground for a little bit.
Perfect timing of that lasso as well. As soon as it was running out, that was when the BKB was expiring onto Weehaw. So just meant that all the stun combos could happen afterwards. And I'm telling you, I've got MI6 on speed dial for you, Pidge. It's looking pretty ominous.
I'm the Oracle. I didn't get to play the hero of this game, and I'm just proving that in theory, maybe not in Dota, but in life, I'm a better Oracle because Alliance, this is looking in their favor. They're ticking the boxes. They're meeting the requirements of their draft, and they don't overextend. They don't go up to the high ground. They realize, actually, guys, if anything, we just need to set up for the next row situation. That is going to be our opening into the high ground, and with the way that it's going for Nigma right now, they're going to struggle to fight. It's also the fact that without the kisses, you don't feel too confident as Alliances. That is still a huge element of this team fight that screws Nigma over.
Yeah.
And there's the
This is even with
Nico Baby.
Yeah.
Are scanning.
Oh, we've got another smoke coming through from here.
It's Limb break.
Good,
This is
good,
fine though.
Limb.
And he blinks away.
Oh.
They didn't get it. They started the slide fist on the creeps. So close. Yet so far.
Nighttime as well. That's some insane reaction times. 33 is 3D.
Now, last bit of stolen. It's going to be used on Sven, the big target, the optimal one for him, but the last two, the real one, used on the TA to drag away. And Nico Baby, he's going to survive through this, the BKB. Throws out the stun. He's going to hide for the moment. Tries to finish off Nico Baby, needs one more hit. Trying to chase in, Lip tries to cover him, but no, he's the one who gets him killed. The side blade. It splashes through and he kills off his own Sven. They've lost two on the side of Alliance. They're going to have to force themselves away from this fight, but they're not quick enough. They're going to lose another one on the exit. Parta's going to go down. The chasers on 33 will look to escape. There is a lift for GH. He'll keep eyes on with the chains. They see everything they need to. They just need to be careful around this tree line, not to screw themselves over. With the corrosive haze finally arriving, they've been waiting so long. Mind Control says, don't worry, guys, I've got this. And the Stolen World Depth, they'll bring him down. They'll hunt for more Limb. The man who murdered his carry will join him in the grave as the entirety of Alliance get wiped. And I think what you just done there, Matt, you cursed it.
Did I? No. What cursed it was, yes, a huge portion of that damage. Actually, let's have a look at the fight recap. Who did the majority of the damage? That's what I thought. I thought it was Miracle because in the beginning of that fight, there was a double damage that had just spawned at the top, just up in the top river area. And I believe 3-3 had the opportunity to go and pick it up, but he didn't immediately move towards it, wanted to be that frontline presence in the team fight, allow the Sven not to immediately get popped, but as a result, Miracle wisely remnanted forward. picked it up. Could get combo down now though if he's not too.
Immediate hammer gets interrupted. Free to do what he wants with the corrosive hair down. Nyx is gone, chasing Nico, maybe trying to do what he can, but he always buys Miracle time that he can move away. And now you use your BKB, use your God Strength. You don't get anything, but you're still the ones who lose a hero. There's no way you can chase anymore. Nigma can just now wait for Roche, and then they can go and take themselves a second life so they can approach your high ground.
They've got the advantage of information too. It's only 20 seconds away, and that TA trap will reveal it as soon as it pops up.
And what do you really have, right? It's not just the God Strength for the BKB. Use the Kisses again. That's 80 seconds. That's your highest success spell in these kind of choke points, right? That's your most valuable asset in the team right now. And we saw how quickly they done Roche before. They ping it out. They can just go straight in, and it'll take a matter of moments for the side of Nigma to clear this.
All right, I'm not gonna count it down this time, but it'll go quick.
Got an orb destruction as well. It's gonna go quicker. What? Gave it? The timing on this orb destruction appearing and Roche spawning.
3, 2, 1. Got it.
2 parts of an Illuminati form right there. And so's your calendar.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm just accurate, you know. I'm the Oracle. I'm the Oracle. It's not you.
You'd be a terrible person to just play rock, paper, scissors with, but that's a countdown.
Dude, nothing beats rock.
Well, I can tell you that Alliance are between a rock and a hard place right now, as Nigma are going to just smoke up and look to keep the aggression going as they move forward.
They know what's happening. They're running with their tails between their legs right now. Until Nigma show themselves, I don't think they want to be anywhere near any of these creeps.
Surprised that Ember didn't go for a little poke. Obviously, you're worried because you can actually be burst down fairly easily, but now that you have the Ags, you can just quickly spam him for a scout and then out again. Obviously, your hope is that they're going to come into the primary jungle trying to farm up a little, but at that point, it's a little bit broadcasted, right? Because Nigma's not showing on any of the lanes. Things are being left a little bit static, and they just took Roche. You can kind of anticipate that they are coming bot.
Yeah. I'm really liking this Presence of Light to TP up towards the top outpost, knowing that they've got the great vision around the Radiant jungle. The only outpost at risk would be the top one.
The preempt
allows them to secure both.
And they see 33. He doesn't want to go on him though. They just seem to be interested in the bounty rune situation, as no one has taken the one's bot yet. But of course, Nigma have a dominant advantage when it comes to mobility across the map. They have nice little splashy Slardar who can just sliver up the river, and then obviously they always have Miracle in this Ember, as well as that Chen factor. Can never forget how impactful that relocation across the map can be.
And what have we got queued up next on this TA? Going into the Bloodthorn, okay. Sending the buyback in the short term, Fada.
Stun, defensively, follow up.
Oh, this is really nice.
Thrown out on a Miracle to clean through. So they bring him down. The Handigon will not save their lives. 2 dead on the side of Nigma, and they just need to get out right now. They cannot afford to lose more heroes. Limp, he is propelling forward, looking for any target he can. He won't see Chen as Kuro managed to TP away, but the Yule's going to come out.
Himself.
Oh no. That should be a tip situation, but I think Wee's too busy running away still to give him a tip. As he
maybe when he's back in base. The fat finger.
Late. The moment's passed right there. I don't think that's a fat finger. That must be a fat mouse right there. There's awkward moments where you just get the pitch perfect blink distance, right? You like, sometimes it happens. While these pros do know the blink ranges quite well, you can just move a little bit too fast. All of a sudden, you're a little bit closer than you expected. And whoopsie daisy angel from there. But as we can see, Alliance, they still have a way to win this. They still have the power of Nico Baby in this game. And if they get that Axe complete as well, he won't necessarily be relying on the lassos to set up kills. He won't need this team of caterers feeding him at his table. He'll be able to go out and hunt for his own food.
Yeah, we've got Nigma grouping up as well on the bottom side of the map. I wonder if they might look to get Miracle's level 20 before they go for a full push. You've got a big wave coming through. You can see Mind Control's hanging back a little bit just to make sure he's getting that full portion of the experience. Picks it up. Now he's got that extra spell amplification, and with some of these BKBs running quite low, especially on Nico Baby, he's sitting at 7 seconds. 2 of them used in pretty quick succession to not much use. Be a lot more of an issue for them.
Sven definitely one of those heroes that looks for that initial burst, right, though. You're trying to flip that advantage. So it's a matter of whether Nigma can minimize those losses in the first few seconds.
It's a bit of a bait here, maybe.
Wait it out. 33. I mean, it's not the ideal opener. I'm not really sure what the play is for Wii. I think he was concerned that they maybe saw him more than anything else. He's just more or less mocking him at this stage.
Yeah,
They want
I
to try
think
and bait him into a sense of security, though.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not necessarily just him, it's the rest of the team.
Although it's not. Probably trying to last him as well. The follow-up. Now Nico maybe will go to work the hand and God to try and save him, but it's too late. He's going to go down. The buyback's going to come out, but he doesn't have a spirit out here. Buyback from Slardar as well. They need to try and get people out or find kills. They'll find Batrider in the meantime. 33 will just make his escape in time, just in the nick, in fact. And Hansgood, he'll look to escape as well. Able to do so. The buybacks are for nothing, and it looks like Sven is also away. They're hunting. They're going to hunt the wrong way, though. As he remnants in, he's scouting everywhere. Maybe he'll see him. He moves across in time, but the stun's going to come out. And they're not close enough. It's too far out. The use does get reflected. Miracle gets controlled up, and he wants this kill so badly, but he needs to be careful. The turnaround opportunity could come out.
Aegis expires.
Jump in. Double stun. Now the kisses as well. The follow-up is looking good. They're going to burst them down. Miracle eats the cheese. Mind control. Has to retreat, though. Nico, baby. Look at that stun opportunity. This is coming off cooldown. You want to control them up, but Slardar, that's going to be the dieback. And Miracle says, I don't know you guys. I know you shoot up to back me, but I am leaving right now, and you're either with me or you're out. And out for the count GH will also be as he gets caught on the retreat. Alliance strike back again as Nigma, after the big buybacks, they get a little bit too greedy and they pay the price.
Yeah, big value to get that Miracle buyback, but two also expended on, actually just the one expended onto Limp to be able to counter all of that. So it's still anyone's game. The script still, you know, a possibility.
You keep talking about the script. I didn't realize you're that big a fan of that band. But this game, I'm a big fan of, as we are now even on the network. And this really could go either way. And you have win conditions potential on each side. Not as big a one for Nigma to exploit and get a kill on the Batrider, because they still need to do the spend. But now, Nigma, no buyback on both your Ember and your Slardar. This is knowledge to Alliance, as you just brought them back in a few moments ago, and it backfired viciously.
They've gone onto the chin.
Screw your sustain, they say goodbye to the captain of Nigma. Nico, baby, holding on that God Strength until he sees a golden opportunity. Meteor Hammer will mitigate most of the value actually coming out from your glyph. 33. Just trying to whittle away at him, but he'll be able to make it out. It's just a matter of asserting dominance over Nigma in their own base, and then prepping around the Roche area for when it's time to take your advantage.
Yeah, great patience from Kuro as well, not expending his buybacks. So if they look to do a similar sort of thing, just maybe a fake back, try and push someone in, they might try and pick off Weehar up here. No Aegis left on him, but he's wise enough to back off. Still looking to go into that Solar Crest. Get Weehar all of that damage. Oh, they found the Ember Spirit again.
They interrupted him. They couldn't actually get the Meteor Hammer for some follow-up. Instead, the kisses are going to be more or less wasted. Hands getting a little bit of drop down half HP. Find time to Lotus Orbits on him. The stops are coming out from the Centaurs for what they can. 33 being ignored. They'll bring down the Nyx Assassin. But mind control, he might be the cost. As they jump in, overwhelm him. He's down for 60 seconds again. Remember, he does not have buyback as he committed earlier as well. And they know this. So they might just back off now, as Roche could be spawning quickly. 20 seconds is a minimum window. And if Alliance get a very quick spawn here, it might be that the script gods do in fact favor them.
And it's not even Nico Bebe having to rely on the rest of his team anymore for the mobility. He's got the Superman Ags, so he's going to be able to jump into these team fights. Might cause them to be out of position a couple of times, but could be the game changer as well for them. Nearly 3 minutes until this respawn, though, onto Roshan. So
it's possible. Breath of Life Enigma will give them breathing room that they need. They can get to a point where buybacks will almost be available again. Obviously, knowledge that they don't know, and us casters and spectators do, but you can feel it. If you see Alliance start showing across the map, likely Roche is not something they're doing right now. That gives you time to get out, get some wards down, get a little bit of control on the map.
And I feel like now it's the stage of the game where the target priorities change so much. Right now, I think it's more of a priority on Nigma to get a backstab happening to try and find this Snapfire at the early stages of the fights, because these Mortimer's Kisses are doing a lot of work. Yeah.
I wouldn't
Picking
be
up-
surprised if at this rate, if this continues the amount of gold he's getting, you might even see him just think about something like a Kyra after this full stuff.
Yeah.
Just amp that up a little bit more if you can. It is greedy, but right now with the fact that Ember still doesn't have a BKB and has no intentions of building one, and now with the BKB being as short as possible and maximum damage achieved.
Yeah, you've got almost all components of the sheep stick as well coming out for 3-3's Timbersaw. You're about 1,200 or so gold away, and I think that main priority is going to be timber chaining in and sheeping Miracle before he can get off that Yules. It's been a couple of times now he's been able to live on very little health and mana. Just through the use of that defensive Yules allows the rest of his team time to rotate in. Mind Control can get off a Key, Slithering Crush. Kuroki can get off his Mechanism as well as the Hand of God. Turn the team fight around.
And you are actually at a stage where when you think about the fragility on both sides, you mentioned the Snapfire, how vulnerable it is. Not able to actually try and stack up farm. At all times, Miracle is really the only one who can show on these lanes. Mind Control may be on the other side of the map just because you waste a lot of time. You're not up to the 20s. It's not an insanely long respawn time. But you really are at a stage where anyone on the side of Enigma who dies, well, Alliance now have the damage that we aren't looking at those concerns they had earlier, right? Where they can't hit buildings. It's a little bit too slow. Now you have this Sven who is just slotted and ready to fight.
And the Meteor Hammer if you need to.
Yeah, a little bonus on the side.
Assuming you get a team one.
And then there's also, even if you have glyphs, this is the beautiful thing about Snapfire and why it's so strong is Little Shredder. You can just slowly delay your attacks on the tower so that even with the multi-shot glyph, it gets out maybe one attack in the entire glyph duration.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
And
Takes a
attack.
bit of yeah, takes a bit of practice, but
Is under attack.
nice little clever use of game mechanics there. Roshan's up, going in onto him, just TPing away, realizing, you know what, I've got these boots of travels, I'm going to be able to join these team fights again pretty quickly, although looks like he's just running straight back there. I'm not sure what the TP back was for.
I think he was the ghost set. There's maybe just refill the ball actually.
No, I just TP'd to like the tier 3 bot.
Oh, okay. Maybe he's worried about them actually committing to a push in. That could be it.
Yeah,
Wait,
as well, we're at the
but
40-minute mark.
Quick. Well, here's the problem. Roche at the 40-minute mark actually hurts. And it's very tanky, as Nico Baby's been finding out. So they'll have to give up the aspirations of quickly taking Roche. It looks like they might need to just take a fight first, because they don't want to commit the God Strength to try and kill off Roshan. And the smoke comes out. Enigma looking to pounce first. 33 not the target they want, though. They're going to wrap around wide. They need to get control of the high ground area again, so they have an advantage to play off.
Yeah, they need to find the Snapfire early on. Still got the outpost to be able to TP back to if he needs, but oh, this is going to be a big clash here.
They revealed on Limp Illusion. They got baited in. They'll scout what's going on right now, but Hanskin's waiting nearby to make sure that Miracle cannot get in, as he still does not have a BKB. Spike
Smoke on the backside.
Now they'll jump in. There goes Superman. The kisses as well. A kiss farewell to Miracle as he's brought down.
We has indeed.
10 seconds, and he's in too deep. He's taking way too much damage, but he will not get away. The Yules is there. The BKB did not last long enough, and Weeheart is going to go down as well. He has a buyback, but there's no point committing now. Nigma cannot fight in the pit. Instead, Alliance will be claiming the third Roshan of this game.
Oh boy, this is getting spicy, Pidge.
We're looking like it might be 5 games at this rate, because that is an 80-second window. 80 seconds without all of your damage.
It's not like they have any of these heroes left either that can quickly get a pick off, you know, turn a 5v3 into a 4v3 or anything like that. Those heroes are dead. They're in the grave.
No, and your
Multiple lanes
Slardar
getting
isn't
pushed
built
in.
to murder. Your Slardar is built to sustain and control. And there's the buyback. TA is back in, but they know the Ember isn't. They know he can't be. Skuro slowed down, like the trusty Lotus. 33 just keeping Mind Control at bay. He needs to be careful himself as he's taking a lot of damage now. Controlled up, but the Guardian Greaves will protect him. And he'll slowly waddle away. Just all the distraction from Nico, baby. Lasso, we're going to drag out. Ghost set means they can't even try and engage on him. And Rubik is gone for 80 seconds. Buyback instantly. They need everyone alive to cover each other. Like Grubbers on the front line. Nice stun coming out of free, but it's not going to achieve much. They're too tanky. BKB, Mind Control cannot be stunned up at least. And Fada has gone in. They need to get him out. 4 stuff away. Back to allowing 33 to tank for them. They have got the kisses in 10 seconds, and they've got God's Strength available. Yes, Ember will be up, but Alliance will be at full firepower.
Just buying time right now. Solar Crest being used defensively constantly by Kuroki. Using it onto the Sven to slow down any sort of push, and losing a tier 3 tower, not the biggest deal in the world anymore. To get out of that with just a buyback, 2 buybacks, but I think that you might be at a much more significant disadvantage.
Those by Carapace. They baited him. GH stunned himself. He fought back. He can't afford to go down, but the kisses are committed onto him. The Hex is pulled. He is going to be burst down and killed for 100 seconds, as he's not just here. The Handing God was used, but it did not save the life of Slardar. Now you have your damage, but you no longer have your control. Jump in. Dodge out. Miracle over to move away. But now Nico, baby, he's activated the God Strength. He's going to want more than just these rats. And with a huge creep wave pushing them bot, they have options open to them. They might just try and end it. In they go. Silence as well. Chen is going to go down. Last in control as well. It will allow them to burn through Miracle. And it looks like we are going to need a game 5 here in this grand final.
That's alright, I didn't need sleep anyway, but what a game! Being able to take it to this point, pops the refresher shard, able to go use the second God Strength. He's in onto the tier 4 towers.
He hasn't given up yet. They're going to make him though. His head in the mud and make him submit. GG gets called. 2-2 is the score. We are going to need the 5th game here. It is going the whole mile between the Lions and Nigma. And
Eagle
back and forth for fair.
Yeah, that's fair. If you've got the team to play around it, it can get a ton of work done. But I think the Snapfire was the key differential there in those team fights. Just a huge amount of damage to be dealt from a very, very safe range. You don't need to be sitting in the middle like a Crystal Maiden or anything like that.